Okay, so today we're going to start by looking at the back office sort of dashboard, if you will. This preview screen right now is showing you what it looks like on the website tab. So we're going to first go back up to setup and just look at some things that Wix will kind of talk you through once you've started working on your site, once you've done all of the pages and set things up. This is where you want to come to get some of your settings, you know, ready for when you go live and connect your domain. So this is, of course, a practice site through the training, but I'm going to walk through just some of the prompts that Wix will give you to finish setting up your business. As you can see here, there is a 2 out of 7 steps completed, and we're going to just talk through most of these. We're not going to actually complete the actions because, again, this is just a test or a practice site as we're going through. The biggest thing, of course, with Wix is connecting a domain. So the domain you will see at the top right now, if you look at your site, it's going to have, and we can just click on that just to show you what that looks like. It's going to have a wixsite.com little addition in the URL. And also it will have this header at the top of your site that says the site is designed by Wix. So of course, if you're okay with using the site and having those features there, it's going to populate when your site goes live. However, if you do not want that there and you want to connect your domain, you would need to go to setup and connect your domain. So there are several ways that, of course, you can connect a domain. You can go to use an additional site. Maybe you already have a domain through a program like maybe GoDaddy, or maybe you want to connect one with Wix. So you would just go up to click on connect domain there, and Wix is going to give you some options on the type of domain you may want to connect. So you will be able to search to see if your domain is available, and then you'll get to choose between which type of site you want to have, a .com, .online, .shop, blog, etc. And that just maybe depends on what sort of site that you are creating. So you would put that information in, and then you would see, is this available? So we're going to just enter the address that we would like. So I would just say travel with Nicole. Let me go back here. .com, and we're going to just search to see if that's available. So it will tell you it's taken. So travelwithnicole.com is taken, and it will also give you a prompt in case you maybe already have this domain on a different site and you want to connect it. If that's the case, you'll be able to click on it and claim it by clicking yes, I own this domain. If not, it'll give you some other recommendations for the site URLs that you can use, and you can choose to get those domains. So once you go through that process, you would just connect your domains. And the great thing about Wix is, of course, it's going to walk you through each of those steps to connecting your domain. So we're not going to claim anything, but just wanted to show, that process. Also, if you already have a business email address, you can also connect that as well. Sometimes an example might be if you have like a Google workspace and you already have a Google Suite with all of your accounts set up, you can also connect your email there. And similarly, it will prompt you to enter that information and walk you through the process. Sorry. So it'll do that. And then as you go through those steps, it'll show you what steps are completed. Also, when you're setting up your business, you can go to adding your services. similarly, how we added services last week through the website editor, you can continue to add services here as well. You can enter your staff information, and there will be several areas on the back office that you might see in a few minutes that will be areas where you can also add these same same pieces of information. And in addition to that, you can set up your payment methods. So if, like, for this site, it's a travel site. If someone may be selected to book with their travel on the site directly and add services, you could set up WIX payments or PayPal, etc. So we'll click on the setup payments just for just to pull up that option, just so you can see what that looks like. So this is a really important step if you are going to be accepting payments. So you want to first make sure that your business location is set appropriately. And this is going to matter, especially when you start doing the tax part of it, because you want to make sure that you're collecting sales tax if that is applicable for you. So as right now, we can see that it's not connected, but I just wanted to just go down here and show you what types of payment options are available to connect with WIX. And as you can see, there's several different payment options, and you can kind of choose which payment options you would like to choose to have on your site. So going through the payments, WIX is going to talk you through or walk you through the right sort of provider based on the type of service or product that you're offering, but it has to ask questions about what your product is, because there are going to be some restrictions and things that may be prohibited to sell through a WIX site. And it will give you the full list if you go to the prohibited products and services. Also, you will not receive any money if you're selling any of those products with WIX payment. So it gives you that kind of disclaimer, and you have to check through that in order to continue to the next step. So going to connecting to the right provider, that will prompt you through whether you can accept WIX payments or not. But there are also other ways that you can accept payment through things like PayPal and manual payment. So to talk through manual payments just very quickly, this would be something that would be linked to an external device, whether it be your phone or some other sort of point of sale device. With the point of sale, say for an example, you're in person and you're booking your travel or you're booking your service, you would be able to manually accept payment, whether it be cash payments or just payments offline, which would be like manually putting in the information for the customer. So that's another option as well. And this method, of course, has no fees. The downside to connecting your manual payments, of course, is that you would have to keep track of your taxes and other things offline, so that when you're doing your reporting for tax season or what have you, that matches up with your revenue. So one thing, I'm kind of jumping ahead here, but when you do your payments on WIX, you will be able to use WIX to print out reports and to really gather data. And we're going to talk about that when we get to analytics. But so that's just a little bit on accepting payments. And while we're here, we're just going to just briefly talk about a few other things. However, the biggest thing that we're going to start with right now is the search engine optimization. So for search engine optimization, that is really what's going to help you to get your business out there and connected on the internet. It's going to help you help people to find you when they're doing Google searches. So WIX really, again, does a very great job of walking you through how to set up your search engine optimization. It's going to be some prompts that makes it really simple, and it's going to, again, give you a taskbar and let you know how you're doing as far as what's been completed on in your back office. So clicking on go to SEO, just letting that load here. Okay, so when you click on SEO, you have to really think about just like how you want your business to show up out there on the internet. So it says, what's the business's or brand name? And this can be added to the checklist. So basically, you'll know, basically how it's going to be consistent everywhere. It's going to show up that way everywhere. So it gives you some examples of how you want your site to show up. So I'm going to just type in travel with Nicole. Let's see. I want that lowercase. There we go. And then we're going to click next. And it's going to ask, is this business, if this business serves customers face to face within a local area, et cetera, et cetera. So we want, basically to let WIX know that yes, this is a business that serves customers from a physical address. And then it's going to ask you to fill in your address, city, or region. Alternatively, you can also select that no, this business is basically online only, e-commerce, or it's a blog, or what have you. So we're going to just fill in the address here. Well, let's see, city or region. Let's see if we type in Windsor, where I live, North Carolina. And then so Windsor will pop up, and then you can put that information in. As you notice, you can either do a physical address or a service area, etc. So you could be maybe less specific and just, put like NC, or you could also put like an exact address there. So the keywords are super important. I can't stress this enough for your search engine optimization. The one thing that you want to do is make sure that you're using words that are very, very descriptive of your business. Based on someone online searching, you want your business to populate in those areas. So one thing you might do before you start entering your keywords is really to just look at what other businesses how other businesses are popping up when you just do a Google search for a business like yours. So right now it's recommended that you type in 3 words to get started. And of course, one of the words that I'm absolutely going to use is travel, because that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing that I want people to find, how, that's connected to my business. So I'm going to put travel in. Maybe I'm going to put in vacation. And let's see. Let's put in airport. Let's just think about things that makes you want to go. So we have 3 words in there. I will flag that this is something new, but Wix also now allows you to use this kind of a AI generated tool to help you find the high performing keywords. So this would be a quicker way, I guess, if you will, than going through Google and searching Google and doing the work yourself. This is giving you opportunity to find those high performing keywords. It looks like this would be like an app or installation. So as you can see here, it says it's free, but we're going to just skip that for now and click next and let it load here. So we're still not there with our task, because as you can see, there's some other steps to get ready for Google search, and we're only on 2 of 7. So the first red kind of alert is saying allow indexing to make your homepage visible in search results. So clicking on go for it. This is going to walk you through why it's important and how it will make your site visible in searching. So as you can see here, it says turn on the following feature. Let search engines index your homepage and your site. And there's a note here, turning this feature on means that your homepage and your site can be indexed and will be eligible to display in the search results. So we're not going to do that because this, again, is a practice site. But if you were to do that, that simply means that once you apply and publish, if someone were to go and search using those keywords, travel, vacation, airport, then with Nicole will populate in that index, which is that list of businesses or that list of sites that show up on Google. Next, we've already optimized the site for mobile devices, because last week when we met, we kind of went through our mobile view and made sure everything was optimized for people that are using their smartphones or tablets. So the next thing that it's asking us to do to optimize site SEO, which is search engine optimization, is to connect a custom domain. So we're not going to do that as well, because it's for a premium feature and there's an additional cost to that. So that's what's going to make it important to be found through Google search or any sort of search engine, because Google will be looking for your URL, your domain that people that's connected to your site, that people will probably likely be typing in, or keywords that will prompt that. So in order to really optimize your site, if you really want it to be searchable through Google or other other types of search engines, it's very important to add a custom domain to help to kind of elevate your search engine optimization. So for an example, utilizing the current free version of the WIX site that we saw, utilizing it this way, if someone wanted to find my site, they would type in the URL that you see here. And that doesn't necessarily go with my business name. So if they typed in travel with Nicole, it would maybe be possible that the site link comes up, but that might be because maybe I used the link on Facebook, or maybe I posted it on LinkedIn, and Google is not going to find it, and it's not going to be in the very top of my of the search, but maybe it'll be on several pages, you know, after. So, and I'll show you just really quick. If you go to Google and you put in travel with Nicole, let's just show you here. Okay, so as you can see, there are several hits because apparently that is a business name. However, there's nothing here that's going to show my site. So it's very important that if I want to be on this first page, which is very, 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 very important when you're trying to get prime search engine optimization, that you have your keywords in place and that you have a great URL, so that Google can easily find it in the feed. Otherwise, as you can see, as you scroll down, it's going forever and ever and ever. You would keep going down to more results, and likely you wouldn't find your site. So just a quick, just reference there. So that's super important for your site engine optimization. The steps are going to kind of prompt you every step of the way, like what you need to do next to keep building. And it's going to really let you know like what you're doing as you're going along. And so when you're connecting the site to Google Search Console, that's going to be another added measure so that your search engine optimization is in a good place. So for step 2, going through the SEO setup checklist, I will say that if you do publish your domain and you connect your domain, that still will, especially if your business is very niche or very unique, you still may get good hits when a Google search, especially if you have good keywords. So for an example, if I publish my site, connect the domain, but I don't follow all of these steps right away, it's not going to mean that your search engine optimization is terrible. It's just going to mean that your results may not be as great if you complete the steps, because that's really a very important part of the search engine optimization. So if you have a site that you're like, I want to get it in a better place, like I want to work on it some. I want to publish it and I want to be able to give it to people so they can find me and see my services, but I'm not quite ready to like fully be, out and launch my site. So it's kind of what we call like a soft launch. If you want to launch it, publish it, but not have it too visible until you kind of work out some tweaks. And also, you can kind of see what's working and what's not working for you by just going ahead and publishing it with your domain, a few keywords just to see how you like it before everybody knows how to get to your site. And I have personally done that. So I think it's, a very good way to like also get to learn how to navigate your own website, especially if you're using Wix and you're doing it on your own. It's easy to kind of, see trial and error when you don't have it live for everybody to see. The other great thing I like about Wix is if you have like a Wix manager and you have a store or some sort of feature where you're selling something, you can manage it from a mobile device as well, which is pretty easy to do once you upload the Wix owner site to your mobile device. So and that you can also you'll have limited availability to do the same things as you can on a desktop, but you can still manage very well if you have a store and you want to add something to your inventory or something like that. All right, so that's search engine optimization, which goes hand in hand with Google. So we're going to go down to Google and take a look there as well. So on the Wix, on this kind of like bar on the side, it's going to give you all of your settings, all of the types of communication options, gift cards, loyalty, rewards, whatever you use for your business, you'll be able to manage it from what I call the back office, but it's like your dashboard. So we're going to go down here to Google Ads, and also they've added Google Business Profile, which I think is great because it kind of goes hand in hand with your search engine optimization, which is what we briefly were just speaking of. So you can start with the process of going through Wix, but you can also go to Google My Business and set up that profile and manage it there. So I won't click start now from here, but what I will do is go and search Google My Business just to see. All right, so click on manage your business profile. So with Google My Business, you can add in your website, you can add photos, you can add link your website, do all those things. But if someone searches you on Google, they'll see the same profile. And this is where your website logo, your phone number, directions to your location, and the reviews and services and things that you offer, that's where those will populate. So when you connect your website, you'll be able to manage that website here in your back office, or you can go to the Google profile and manage it there. With the settings for Google, as it gets a little bit more detailed, you can do your Google ads and maintain or manage those ads from the Wix site, which is something that's kind of developing because, they kind of work hand in hand when you're doing advertisement, but that's just an option for working with Google and doing your search engine optimization. Those things really kind of go hand in hand because Google has a very large search engine. So with Wix, that kind of trade-off of having a great site and using Google My Business or a Google profile will help increase your search engine optimization. So you want to make sure if you do have a website, whether it be on Wix or with whatever other platform, that you are also using Google My Business, because that's going to help your search engine optimization. One thing I really want to show is the favicon, and let's see, I think it's under settings. So I'm going to go to that. Let's see. I'm going to just search it because it could be anywhere. I can't remember where it shows up. So this is that little icon that shows up right next to your site on a tab. So as you can see, the little square with the Wix logo there, that's what that little icon is, the favicon. So this is something that you can upload with your own, your own images and publish it in your website editor so that that shows up. And it will show up when someone searches on, Google, that little logo will pop up right next to it. If there's not a logo there, it'll just be, it's usually sometimes just a generic logo. It might just be the first letter of your site, or it could just be a Wix or other logo next to it if you don't have a published site. So you can upload your image there, and that's under website settings. So if you go to settings, then click on website settings, that's where it is. As you saw, I just searched. So because there are multiple ways to get to different functionality, so you can always just search the thing that you want to do, or you can click on the settings on this, or the command on the side. Also, if you want to personalize your Facebook username and you want to enter your personal, if your site is published and you're connecting your Facebook or other social media, you can enter your personal Facebook username there and save those and save that so that it's all personalized to your specific business, which helps again for search engine optimization. So what would happen if someone searched travel with Nicole? I have my domain, and then my Facebook page is going to probably come right up under that. Maybe if I have LinkedIn, then you want all of the things that are connected to your business to populate at the same time. So the more things that you have uploaded into your back office and your Wix profile, your Google My Business, that's going to give you several hits for your search engine optimization. The one thing you want to think about when you're creating your domain name, and if you're personalizing your website, your Facebook, you want to think about business names that might be similar to yours, and also keeping the domain names short and not really doing a long name. So you want something very short for people to remember. So if you have a long business name, when you're doing your domain, just think of a way to shorten it so that it's not something that's, hard to remember when someone's just trying to find you from Google. So here on the website settings, since I'm already here, if you want to back up and go a couple steps back to other versions of your site, you can go to site history, which is under your website settings, and click restore versions. So I would be very careful about doing that, because whatever the last published site is, you need to make sure that you're editing or you're restoring back to what you actually want. And you won't know that unless you have already previewed your website before you click restore version. So just be careful about your site history. Sometimes if you are in editor mode, you can go back and go back and kind of undo what you did, but it just would be harder with those very small changes to do that. All right. So moving on from that part of the settings, but I am going to go back to the general page on the settings tab. So this is where you're basically going to modify just about everything on your website. If you have e-commerce, you're doing a store of some sort, you would be able to go there to make general changes. for an example, for this site, it's a travel site. You can update your booking settings. So you could set your hours, you can add your policies and things of that nature. So again, like we shared earlier, you can accept your payments and choose the way the customers get paid or customers can pay you. You can add your point of sale. With the point of sale, through the apps, you can essentially kind of scan through the apps to see what types of point of sales um, integrate with WIX, which now mostly a fair amount of them do integrate, so you won't have any problems because WIX is a major web builder, so people really use a lot of apps. And we talked about apps last week, but you can certainly go under settings to go to the app market, and that's also where you would manage your apps as well to add on. So the apps are a great feature. There's like just different add-ons, and once you have added on an app, you will be able to see that information on this side of your screen in your on your sidebar there. Let's see, going down here to settings. What else am I? There's just a lot of different ways that you can manage your settings. Again, you could go to the search bar on the side of the toolbar, or you could go to the general dashboard. But there, as you can see, many ways to update the same types of information. One of the things that I wanted to point out here is if you have a business or a service that you're offering where you have members or you have people that can sign in, multiple people that can sign in to your account, you can manage your site members through this feature right here. And we're just going to click on it just really quick to kind of show you what that looks like. So say for an example, maybe you have, you know, this business is a travel agency. I have multiple agents. Multiple agents would get to sign in and manage the account, but you can create roles and choose who has access to those certain pages. And of course, with that, you can change profiles, you can do certain types of member privacy, but that's a really detailed way to kind of manage a site when it's, you know, multiple people that's accessing the site, and you want to make sure that you have different safeguards in place. Maybe it's because of the type of title or position, but you can easily manage those through the site member settings. And once you set those up, again, the same way that we've done other features, WIX will kind of walk you through the steps on what, you know, you need to do for each setting. And if you get stuck, there's always the help menu. If you just click on help, you can usually find an article that's directly related to your topic. And of course, you can do the search the same way that we've searched for other things at the top of this toolbar, or you can also go to WIX Learn, and there's kind of like some tutorials and webinars to walk you through that. So that's always a great resource for working with WIX. All right, so we're going to go next to the analytics and reports. But before we do that, I just wanted to quickly point out the language settings, which is a super cool feature. You can change the format of the language for your site by going to language and region. When you click on that, you can make sure that your language is selected, but also you can add additional languages so that, sorry, it's hovering in the wrong place. So that, say if you want, you know, multilingual content, someone maybe goes to your site and it's in Spanish, there'll be like a little, I know you all have likely seen them when you go to a site and it's in a different language, you can just click to translate and it'll go to a different language. That's what that feature would do if you have multiple languages there. Also, as far as the regional capacity, you could change the way that your site is set up based on region. As you know, like over on the side here for the formats preview, In different countries or different places, we have different ways of displaying our dates and times and currency and things like that. And so this pretty much will give you a preview as to how your format would look based on the format that you're choosing from the regional format. Also, you would be able to edit your currency to change it from euros to US dollars or what have you. And this is also where you could edit your time zone. In addition, you can change how your editor looks or your dashboard by going to account language and changing that as well. So perhaps maybe you'd rather see the account language in the back office or the dashboard in Spanish, but you want your viewers that go to your website to see it in English. You would be able to make that choice here in the account language, and it won't affect how your visitors see your profile. Okay, so last but not least, we're going to go to analytics, and this is just the tip of an iceberg. There's so much to learn about the back office, but I wanted to really show the analytics and reports options, just because it will be very helpful if you're going to be relying on insights and behaviors of the traffic to kind of drive your site in the way that you promote, which is a feature for someone who can't hire a consultant to do the work. Is going to be golden. Of course, there's no traffic here. There's nothing happening that can generate reports, but I just wanted to quickly point out what those features are and what that looks like. So you would be able to get a traffic overview here. How many people visit your site? What time of the day? You can get it in a period of time, whether it be 30 days. You can customize it. You can do it for a year. 90 days, whatever, by just selecting and applying here. This is very helpful to see like trends for when people are coming to your site. I was able to, when I had a boutique, I was able to see that, of course, from October to December, I had the highest traffic because people were coming for the holidays. So then I thought about ways to maximize those visits to my site based on those types of reports. Also, you can see things happening in real time. Of course, there's nobody home, so we have no visitors, but this lets you know how many people are on your site right now. What's your live activity? What's going on, and where are the people that are visiting you? And it'll tell you where they're from and what page they're on your site as well. So for the sales overview, you will be able to see again what sales you had. Not only will you see, what sales you have, you can see like what's selling the most, like what are people coming to buy? Because then you could, base your inventory or your services on that. And then it'll show you also, sorry, Wix is delaying, but it'll also show you who are your top buyers, like who the people that visit your site and spend money. Because in addition to having these reports, you can then do your loyalty referrals, and you can do all sorts of incentives, and you can target that specific group, which is really cool. And really it's once you have the reports and the data, you can really drive the way that you do business with these reports. The other great thing with the reports is you can use them to drive sales and traffic. Look at your products by category, see your bookings over time. Again, your top clients, your popular services. You can then look at your subscriptions. You can also, learn like what's your order conversion based on the type of traffic source. Like, are they coming from Facebook? Are they coming from Google? All of those things will help you to be able to kind of target where you need to grow. And you can really help direct your team based on what you're seeing in these reports. So once you have some traffic, again, if you're doing like a soft launch and you want to just kind of get a real feel for a few months over like what the data is going to show to help you inform how you're going to move forward with your business, then I certainly think that that's a phenomenal idea, especially if it's for a business. Now if it's for something more like a short term, like a festival, or maybe something that's a short term project, it could help you, to really see ways to reach out based on where the page visits are and things of that nature. So that's going to talk about the behavior there, as well as, button clicks. Like what are people clicking on? And what's the search rate over time, and what are the button clicks over time? So for the members, now the members app could just also be customers who maybe are subscribing to your service, and they want to be members of your mobile app. So, that feature, it has to be very intricate. That's almost like a separate way to work the site in and of itself. But you just would be able to see there how people engage with your business on their mobile apps. Like, what are they doing? What are they looking for? This is something that I think really is good for service-based businesses or blogs to have, people who are members and subscribers to your service or your business. So also, if you're doing some sort of tracking on transactions and looking at maybe clients that have accounts with you, you can see, hey, who's got overdue payments? Like, who owes me money? So this is just a great way to really utilize, like a one-stop shop for all of your needs. And it really will help you to drive many different um, facets of your business, including, your accounting, your finances, and your search engine optimization, your services that you offer, the reporting tool, and all of the analytics is just really super helpful, especially if you're just starting out and you really want to see where you are. So I am going to stop there. That was a lot of information and still not enough. But it was definitely fun walking through WIX these past few weeks. And if anyone who's watching wants to reach out and do more one-on-one and learn something more specific, I'd be happy to walk you through that process with me.